Heyo, happy 312 day, and in honor of B312, I'm making my own custom Noble 6 helmet. This is something I want to do for the longest time now. I have tried to do this in the past out of foam, but my technical skills has limited me in making this. Yet, since I have learned some skills after making Baka's ODST helmet, I can now finally start working on my own. As always, I purchased these files off of Tidal Waves Designs Etsy shop, link below. Thanks to this shop, I was able to find a bunch of attachment files. However, there's one attachment I always thought looked like it belonged. The brim. The brim really pulls the helmet silhouette together, creating a nice slender profile while still being round. Alright, so back to the main print. I did print out the helmet into 3 pieces, but this time I added a dovetail on the top to allow for an easier connection. Also want to note that I made sure to split off the jaw from the helmet. When gluing the pieces together, I used 3 different methods. First was hot glue. This allowed me to have a moldal leeway if the print wasn't exactly on the piece or lined up. Then super glued the pieces for added strength, and then lastly, Mod Podge to bring all the pieces together while filling in the gaps. Speaking of gaps, by now you should know what's next. I added a wood filler and the automotive primer. Before sanding. Wait, before sanding? Yeah, that's right. I saw this method online and wanted to try sanding off the primer and then re-priming it again. Well, it turned out okay, but it did mess with the side of the helmet a bit. However, everything else looks fine, especially the nasty gash on the chin. Okay, for the base coat, I chose brown. Why? Well, growing up, I always thought Noble 6 had a brown helmet. This was due to the first Mega Bloks figure featuring Noble 6 being brown. And first time I booted up Halo Reach, Noble 6 was also brown, thus making me think that he was default brown. My bad though. Turns out he had steel gray armor. Well, too late to turn back now. Now I wanted to create details for the parts, so I used my acrylic paints to coat the main helmet with a bronze finish and highlighted some different tones of gray. For some final touch-ups, I bought an acrylic paint marker and started to highlight all the edges. This theoretically would ruin the realistic look, but I think it makes the armor pop, and actually it looks like it came out of the game engine. I also attached each attachment using a drill and hot glued and super glued some magnets inside, allowing me to create a fully modular helmet. And one more thing I did was create a temporary visor using tinfoil. It's actually kind of funny. The very first Halo Reach helmet I ever made was Noble 6, and it was a repurposed Boba Fett helmet. Anyways, I'm waiting to figure out the current visor situation, but until then, the helmet looks amazing. Also, do you ever get the feeling like you're forgetting something?